Welcome back, O.G.B.O, Omega Man Codes, Part 2 to the reset. Okay, in part 1, I spoke on the energy shift. I want to go a little further there with that. I want to start with words and the power of words because most of us use a word all the time, not knowing the meaning of that word. And the problems we introduce to our lives by calling on that word, not knowing exactly who we're calling, and how that word gave rise to the energy that we are dealing with today. Number one, we're dealing with low vibration. Everything is sexualized. The sexualization is being pushed morning to night over the airways, television, radio. Everything is sexual energy. The word I want to speak on is God. Okay? G-O-D, Gomaz, Oz, Duba, who were three mythological Greek gods, all having different attributes. When the Romans when Constantine and company decided to unite Rome using ideals from the newly, um, but the new community, the new Christian religion. It was new at that time. Um, to unite the people, they took the names um, and the customs of the people who were already there, such as what we call Christmas today. That has a root with Nimrod, the tree, the ornaments. I'm not going to go into that on this live, but research Nimrod and you will find, go to Jeremiah chapter 10, read the first 5 verses. Learn not the way of the heathen, for the customs of the people are vain. For one cut of a tree out of the forest, the work of the axeman, they deck it with nail that it move not, and deck it with silver and gold. That's the Christmas tree. Jeremiah was a prophet who lived, I think, 400 or 500 years before Yeshua, the man wrongly called Jesus. But this was a custom that was around before his birth and has absolutely nothing to do with his birth. But this has something to do with the point that I wish to make in this live. Words. Notice I corrected myself. When I said Jesus, I corrected myself and said Yeshua. That's the subject that I want to engage today. And I open dialogue. If you feel that I'm wrong, let's dialogue about it. Let's do it in the best way. We don't have to curse at each other. We don't have to belittle each other. We always push the high vibration. Okay? But the word that I spoke on in my introduction is God. G-O-D. Gomaz Oz Tuba. It simply means force and power. That's pretty much what God means. But when you say that name, you have to understand that the creator is not the only source of force and power. You have demonic force and power as well. So you have to be careful when you pray, the words that you use. Let's get to it. When the creator made Adam and he shaped him out of the mud and clay, he breathed into him and he became a living soul. Whenever you say the name of the creator, one of the correct names of the creator, and it's more than one name, but they all have a relationship. And here's the relationship. When you say the name of the creator, you're breathing it in, you're repeating the process of when the first man in um, Christian, Islamic, as well as Hebrew tradition is understood to be Adam. And you're repeating that when the Creator breathed into him and he became a living soul. So whatever you call on the name of the Creator, you're breathing his name in. There's power there. God, you're not breathing in, you're breathing out. But when you say Elohim, one of the names, you're breathing it in. When you say Yahweh, you're breathing in. When you say Allah, you're breathing in. Likewise, when you call on the name of his prophets, Yeshua, the correct name of the man being called Jesus. Listen, it's power in words. Be very careful how you name your children. You can curse your child with a name. You can bless your child with a name. This word Jesus is a loose translation, a rough spelling of Jason. You know, Friday the 13th. Now think, Yeshua had 12 disciples, himself making 13. He was crucified in Christian theology on Friday. He's referenced as saying, think not that I come to bring peace, nay a sword dripping with blood. Jason has a sword-like knife called a machete dripping with blood. Friday the 13th. Everything have significance. Everything have meaning. It's called hiding in plain sight. We hide information where they hide information that's relevant, that's life altering. In plain sight, they put it right up under our nose and we never pay attention. And this is how they tap into our energy and they extract our energy. Vampires are real in the sense that you have people who consume energy. Blood is energy. Now, there's no one going around, well, there's people who go around in occults and drink blood. But on a grand scale, in a more significant scale, the taking or consuming energy is something that's done every day, which is why you have to be very careful who you give your energy to, who you invest your energy with, how you spend your energy. Now, as I want to relate this to the first video I done on the reset, this word God and the energy the vibration that we're on, particularly in the black community, but you can see it in every community in America today. The energy is sexual. Everything is sexual, right? Now there's a goddess, Ishtar. Christians call the name Easter, but it's Ishtar. And that's where you get Easter from, the bunny rabbit laying eggs. Eggs are a symbol of fertility. Easter has absolutely nothing to do with the resurrection of Yeshua. It's about the goddess Ishtar, the goddess of fertility. What the Europeans used to do before the birth of Yeshua is they noticed in the spring months there were new babies, new bears, new rabbits, new deers. So when it began to get warm out, they would have orgies. They would have orgies and call on the name Ishtar, the goddess of fertility. And that's the vibration that we're in today in America. The name that we are provoking when we do things that the Most High forbid us to do, we do it anyway. And then we call on the name of God. But the force and power that we're calling on is not the force and power that we think we're calling on. It's the force and power that's tied to the behavior that we display. So when you're overly sexualized and you're on that low frequency, you're on that low vibration, but you're calling on God, you're not calling on the Creator, you're calling on Ishtar, the god of sex, fertility. And that name is being called so much. Now, remind you, you're not what you say you are, you're what you carry into practice. So you can say you're a Christian, you can say you're a Muslim, you can say you're a Hebrew, Jew, or Buddhist, but you are what you practice. So when you do things that you know you should not do, but then you call on God, the force and power that you're calling on is not the force and power in your mind that that you're connecting to, that you think you're connecting to. If you're a Christian, you think you're calling on Yeshua or Jesus. You're a Muslim, you think you're calling on Allah. You're a Jew, you think you. No, it's none of those. You're calling on the force and power that's tied to the behavior that you display. The vibration that we're in today is because of the energy that we invoke in our behavior. We behave a certain way, we behave on an animalistic level, and we're calling on God. We're invoking the force and power of the God that's connected to the behavior that we display. So if you have the mindset that you can sin, you can go out here, you can destroy people's families, you can misuse women or misuse men, and then have the audacity to pray later or call on God. God absolutely hears you, but it's not the God that you want to be heard by. It's the God that's connected to the behavior. So understand the power in words. When you call on the Creator, the Supreme Being, you want to call the Creator by His name. And it's not just one name. There's different names like Elohim is one of the names. Yahweh is one of the names. Allah is one of the names. And more. Those are the three that I think my audience is most familiar with. When you call on his name in prayer, he listens. But when you call on his name in prayer, but after prayer you continue to do things that he frowns on, you continue to behave on a low frequency, a low vibration, then he turns away from you. That's for those who know the right name but still don't do the right things. But for the rest who don't know the right name, you're absolutely calling on the God that permits you to behave the way that you behave. And it's reflected in the world that we live in today. The God of this world is not the creator. It's not Allah. It's not Yahweh. The God right now is Ishtar, the fertility God. That's why so much sexual confusion and so much sexual energy. Men believe themselves to be women and women believe themselves to be men. And if you say no, you're not that, they're offended. If you make a post about it, you lose your account. Hmm. If you post about it on Facebook, you go into Facebook jail. Not for lying though, for telling the truth. Do you really think the Creator, Yahweh, or Allah, is the God of this reality? I mean, I really want you to think about that. The God of this reality is a star. The God of this reality is a star. The vibration, the frequency. Take note of it. Tell me I'm wrong. Dialogue with me. Tell me I'm wrong. Do you honestly think Allah is the God of this reality? Yahweh is the God of this reality? You're sure? Or any of the prophets? Do you think they would be happy with the behavior displayed 24/7 in the United States of America? If Yeshua was to come back, do you think you would go with him? The reset, change your vibration, and remember going forward that your vibration is very valuable. Your energy is very valuable. You have to be careful where you spend your energy. Do not entertain negativity. Those who come for you, who say ugly things. I get ugly comments all the time. Look at my over my content and read my comments. You'll see them, but also take note to how I respond. If I choose to respond, be careful how you spend your energy. This is the reset. You have to reset your energy. If you're a man, study your Omega Man codes. It's right there in the book of Genesis. When God made Adam, or when the Creator made Adam, he gave him his duty as a man to protect, provide, preserve. You don't find anywhere Adam telling Eve, come out here and help me with these animals, help me build this house. If the woman have to help you be the man, are you gonna help her be the woman? Get back on your Omega Man codes. Definitely invest in being the best you. You can't invite a woman to help you build nothing. If you don't have anything that you're building, you have no need for a woman. What you gonna call her to help you do nothing? How that's gonna work out? No, but listen, we're dealing with the reset, and as I concluded the last live, I conclude this one: a land of our own. We want to build a nation for our people. We want to build a nation of like minds, a nation built on principles given us by the Most High, the Creator. You can donate to Cash App $ RENARDO, Renato RASHID Rashid. You can also follow Brother Ben X, the Hereafter Farms. They already have, I think, like 1,600 acres of land that they're developing. They already have some homes on that land, and they're building the new reality. So if you can donate there, or you can donate here and start from scratch with me, or you can go and add on with Brother Ben X. We're both in sync as far as we're both putting our hands on the solution. Everybody point out the problem, but the solution is a land of our own. Peace.